Hi, everyone. My name is Jason Park. I am the Business Development Manager at Bittrex Global and the host of our video AMA today. We are joined today by Joseph Peng from the Klaytn platform business team to answer your questions about Klaytn and the Clay token. Our recent Clay token listing has created a huge interest within our community, and we received a lot of interesting questions for Joseph to answer today. So I'm very excited to get started. Joseph, first of all, thank you for joining today, and please introduce yourself to our audience.
Thank you, Jason. It's Joseph from Klaytn. It's very nice to be here with us every day. And today I've heard that we have got a few hundreds of questions, and I'm very happy to answer those questions together.
Great. Well, thank you for the introduction. So before I delve into the specific on the Klaytn token and the Clay token, I'm always interested in hearing about how the token teams come up with the name of their platform and token. So is there a specific meaning behind the name Klaytn? And also, it'll be helpful to our audience to share some background on Klaytn as well.
Sure, let me tell you something about Klaytn. Okay, Klaytn is the blockchain arm of Kakao, which is the largest mobile platform and messenger in Korea with 50 million users. But besides being a messenger, there are many other functions, such as mobile games, payment, taxi hailing, and Klaytn. Klaytn is the digital wallet inside KakaoTalk, where you can send and receive Clay and other Clay-compatible tokens. Okay, so let's get back to the meaning of Klaytn. Klaytn is actually a word created from the key components of ground, which is clay and stone. So ground and stone, they symbolize the foundation of blockchain technology that GrandX is creating. GrandX is the engineering arm that actually creates Klaytn, the mainnet. So our mainnet is called PowerBub, and our testnet is called PowerBub, and our mainnet is called Cypress. Both PowerBub and Cypress are actually three names, and they're related to the meaning of laying the ground and foundation of blockchain technologies.
That's fantastic. I think hearing the meaning behind Klaytn really provides me with an understanding of what kind of direction your team is heading. And I think we at Bittrex Global have a similar mission to be the incubators in the space and to promote innovation within the blockchain industry. So I'm very, very glad to get that context. And I know you just mentioned GrandX when you were explaining Klaytn, so I think it may be helpful to our audience if you can explain a bit more about that.
Sure. So Klaytn is the name of the mainnet, and GrandX is actually the engineering arm of Kakao that builds blockchain solutions and services. There are many powerful blockchain solutions that we have built. One of the most famous one is probably the Klaytn digital wallet, which is embedded in the Kakao Messenger. And the Kakao Messenger is used by 50 million users all over the world.
Great, thank you for that. I am also a personal user of Kakao Messenger, and it's really impressive to witness all the developments the Kakao team has done. I'm also interested to learn about the decision behind choosing Bittrex Global, and what do you think are the advantages this listing opportunity brings to the development of Klaytn?
Sure. Actually, many global blockchain companies and exchanges, they have spoken to us for collaboration. But we found that Bittrex Global is a good partner to assist our partners and also assist us to expand overseas. Bittrex Global also has very good experience and record in bringing many projects from Asia abroad and making them successful. I think that are the reasons that we would like to work with Bittrex Global.
Great, really appreciate that. So I want to take a step back and understand a bit more about the story behind Klaytn's success. So, every successful project has a few stories behind the scenes. So what was that vision when it first emerged as an idea?
Sure. The success of Klaytn very much relates to its journey to bring about the mass adoption of blockchain technologies. So by mass adoption, I mean that everyone can easily and conveniently utilize blockchain. In this sense, Klaytn, the digital wallet inside KakaoTalk, will trigger the mass adoption of blockchain services by offering a range of user-centric blockchain applications that can be enjoyed through your KakaoTalk. The Klaytn user base is also expanding based on a linkage with various Kakao services, including KakaoTalk, the #1 messenger in Korea. We also work with a lot of applications developed by our governance council members that are 30 famous, well-known international companies in Korea and out of Korea. So the KakaoTalk linkage, as well as the governance council, they support and secure the initial user base of blockchain services running on Klaytn. Importantly, putting all the number of users of our governance council members together, we have an accessible user base of 700 million users all over the world.
Yes, and I think it's really exciting to hear from teams on real use cases that can have an immediate impact on people. And this actually brings me to my next question. I'm curious to share more about some of the major achievements that the Klaytn project has achieved.
Sure. There are a few great milestones. The first is definitely Klaytn. We launched Klaytn in June this year. And on the first day of launch, 100,000 users immediately subscribed to the service. Now we have got more than 200,000 users registered with the Klaytn service so far. The second milestone is that Klaytn has actually formed one of the largest blockchain consortia in the world. Currently, the Klaytn Governance Council has 30 members. All of them are famous, well-known international companies in the fields of finance, IT, games, communication, such as Vietnam VNG, South Korea's LG Electronics, SK, the well-known South Korean cosmetic group Amole Pacific. We also have Netmarble and Union Bank of the Philippines. In addition to these well-known large companies, other subsidiaries of Kakao, such as Kakao Games and Kakao Pay, they also joined the committee. We are also in talk with other well-known international companies to expand our governance council and partnership. The third partnership is about strong partnership that we are forming with global software and hardware companies. Now we are partnering with software, hardware wallets, device manufacturers, financial institutions, global NFT marketplace, blockchain service providers, and others to further expand the blockchain ecosystem. You will probably know many of them, like dapps.com, State of the Dapps, Hobby Wallet, Samsung Blockchain. These famous companies, they are actually already our partners.
Great. Well, first of all, congratulations on all of your achievements. I think Klaytn has contributed immensely on bringing huge attention to our industry in a very positive way. So I guess stemming off of your answers and the achievements, what is next for your team? What's the kind of the long-term vision for Klaytn?
Sure. We have a very unique long-term vision that I would like to share with you. Klaytn's long-term vision is to create an ecosystem to make it easy for companies to carry out the entire process from issuing digital assets to distribution, management, transition, transmission, and liquidation of digital assets. So Klaytn can be partners to issue NFTs for different companies. Even non-blockchain companies can easily create and utilize NFTs for their own unique services. For example, recently an angel investor group called Angel League, they has been using Klaytn to issue NFT-based digital cards last month, which is a confirmation of joining the Angel League. And some saying of blockchain karaoke application service, they actually support content reward through Klay token from this month. In the coming years, digital assets as well as NFT technology will be used to utilize various assets, both online and offline. This kind of NFT technologies has three different and important characteristics. First, it is highly flexible on open platform. Second, is programmability. So you can program your assets using smart contracts. Third, composability. So we will have better composability based on the permissionless nature of smart contracts. It may sound a bit difficult to understand, but if you think of some game companies, in the future, they will be able to use Klaytn and other NFT technologies to issue game items and game NFTs. And these game items and NFTs will be using smart contracts, and they will be running on some permissionless smart contracts, and the ultimate ownership of those game items will belong to the users, not the game companies. Presently, without these smart contracts, actually, your game items are just stored in some databases that can be changed by the game companies itself. But if you utilize Klaytn and smart contracts, your game items actually belong to you.
Great. And I think you've just mentioned creating an ecosystem for other companies. And I know your team has been working on increasing interoperability with other blockchain platforms as well. Could you elaborate a bit more on this effort?
Sure. Actually, we plan to increase our cross-chain support with Ethereum and other blockchain platforms other than Klaytn. So starting with the creation of KDAI, by developing a bridge that allows MakerDAO's stablecoin DAI to run on Klaytn through our partner Otis last month, we will open an era of cross-chain support across heterogeneous platforms.
Great. And I want to pivot now and talk a bit more about your community. I'm well aware Klaytn has been very much community-driven team. So what is your strategy on maintaining and building a strong community base?
Okay, for communities, there are actually two components. One is developer community, the other one is user communities. As for our developer community, we are now organizing a blockchain hackathon with Samsung Blockchain in Jeju to promote our platform to developers. We also have a Facebook group for Klaytn developers to share their thoughts and ideas, and now we have got around 1,000 followers. So as for our user communities, our partners have been quite active in airdrops and marketing campaigns to the users of Klaytn and KCT, Klaytn compatible tokens. For example, our partner Klaytn Knight, which is the famous EOS Knight migrate to Klaytn, they had an airdrop promotion event quite recently to new users. Some saying which is a very famous Korean blockchain karaoke application. They just migrate to Klaytn, and Six Networks, which is we call them the blockchain instrument, they are also providing airdrop to new users. So by giving airdrops and offering new services to users, and we will use these like to engage uh, existing users and attract new users to our community and ecosystem.
Great. And to kind of further ask about this topic, I know that you just mentioned the two different types of community. What do you think the role of the community is in the Klaytn ecosystem?
That is a great question. Community is a great forum to talk, discuss, and exchange ideas about Klaytn and the potential that the wider blockchain industry holds. In order to increase Korean developers' awareness of Klaytn, GrandX actually localized the Klaytn docs, and GrandX create tutorials and engage with local developers via Facebook and online forums. But we are not just only talking to Korean developers. We also host regular meetups to strengthen our global developer network. So far, Klaytn meetups were held in Seoul, San Francisco, Vietnam, Bangkok, and the Philippines. So we organize these meetups to introduce the Klaytn platform and hackathons for blockchain developers. Because of COVID-19, we are not able to organize offline meetups, but we are trying to organize more online events to introduce our platform to users and developers in Korea and out of Korea.
Sure. And is there a customer base that your team is specifically targeting?
Yes, Klaytn provides an optimal blockchain environment for services and business that targets a large number of users. It features fast response time on par with that of legacy web services with minimal transaction fee. Minimal transaction fee nowadays is of particular importance because, as you can see in the Ethereum ecosystem, the gas fee is very high. But we are charging, we are actually providing 1 year fee delegation services to our partners nowadays. And this is really a great chance for new developers to try our platforms and use new services. And we also have a consortium of very highly reputable global companies, and they operate the platform together with a secure inflow of active users and, more importantly, new use cases that I will share.
Very interesting. And to dig a little deeper here, who can benefit the most from the tools that you guys are offering?
Oh, sure. We have built a lot of tools. The tools are built with developers in mind, and developers will be the best beneficiary of the tools that we are building. So Klaytn offers various tools and services for developers and users. Klaytn supports both software and hardware wallets to securely store and send Klaytn-based tokens. We also have plans to support more compatible wallets. Klaytn also provides key management service and API service on blockchain core to help make service development easy and simple. The various tools and services provided in Klaytn ecosystem are open source, so developers can partake easily without worrying the cost. And Klaytn also supports the most commonly used Ethereum Solidity contract for developers to use the existing codes. This allows the Ethereum developers to easily adapt to Klaytn and also help them to easily utilize and port the Solidity related tools and documents.
Great. Now I want to turn to topic of adoption. Do you have any specific marketing strategies to increase that?
Yes, we do. Okay. Um, Now we have a few marketing strategies. The first one is the fee delegation policy. So we have launched a fee delegation policy for 1 year for our partners to increase adoption. So in celebration of the first year anniversary of our mainnet launch, we are giving a 1 year fee delegation policy through which Klaytn will pay for all transaction fees on behalf of its developers and service providers that run applications on Klaytn platform. This is a treasure nowadays, given that Ethereum gas fee is really high. The developers will also be able to deploy or execute smart contracts at low cost. Furthermore, any wallet service that supports Klaytn or Klaytn-based tokens can also have their transaction fees covered by Klaytn. As a result, the users can send or receive tokens at low cost. The second strategy is we will leverage our Korean language as well as our Klaytn Governance Council. It's noteworthy that Klaytn is participated by global leading companies in a consortium structure. So Klaytn features fast response time, high performance, and stable transaction fee structure. These are all optimized for services with large transactions and traffic. So with our governance council members, we are going to leverage on our strong functionalities as well as user base to expand overseas.
Great. And let's get into the specifics of the token. What is the utility of the Klaytn native token?
Sure. Okay, there are actually a few very good use cases. So in the basic form, it can be used as to pay gas fee, just very much like you use the gas fee on Ethereum. But we have got some very unique use cases. For example, Hyundai Card, they actually use K to promote and use it as a marketing channels. Like those who apply for Hyundai Card in the Clip wallet, they can actually get some Clay. Okay, and we have got a very special case that we actually use blockchain for donation. We work with an NGO called Good Neighbors. So people and users of Clip, they can actually donate using Clip and also using the Clip digital wallet. To my knowledge, it is the first donation use case in the blockchain space that involve a big tech company. And we are actually developing very powerful Klaytn utility called NFT. NFT is not a new thing, but our concept of NFT is much wider. It is a tokenization of digital assets, online and offline. So in the future, you will expect some game items or even K-pop stars NFTs. These unique digital assets will come into your Clip or digital wallet and also the Klaytn ecosystem.
Great, that's very interesting, and I think some of the more important aspects on evaluating a token is also on security, including data security and also scalability. How does Klaytn handle these issues?
Okay, scalability is also always a big issue for blockchain, as we can see, legacy blockchains like Bitcoin that's too slow. So we are making Klaytn very fast. The response time is 1 second, and TPS is 4,000 TPS. So it basically allows even mobile applications to run on Klaytn. Additionally, we also have a private blockchain solution of service chain that can meet the business needs that require high performance. Actually, the security and data security issue is quite important in the blockchain space as well, because some companies may have to implement blockchain for data security or IP policy reasons. So Klaytn provides a private blockchain solution called Service Chain, which allows companies to build their own blockchain that is similar to the Klaytn mainnet. Furthermore, by connecting to the Klaytn mainnet, the service chain ensures the integrity of its data. It allows token transfer between different chains. So through such a method, we create a hybrid blockchain that supplements the weaknesses of a private blockchain.
Great. And what would you say the biggest differences and advantages are that Klaytn offers?
There are some very key factors that we need to consider here. First, there is a cost advantage here. So in Ethereum, users, they set the gas fee for each transaction, and miners, they choose what transactions that they want to work on to maximize their reward. So it's somewhat like bidding for limited resources. This approach has been working because it is market-based. However, the transaction cost fluctuates and becomes too high, as we have seen recently in the DeFi protocols. So to solve this problem, Klaytn is actually using a fixed unit price, and the price can be adjusted by the governance council. This policy ensures that every transaction will be handled equally, and they will be guaranteed to be executed. Therefore, users do not need to struggle to determine the right unit price. Furthermore, we are giving a 1-year fee delegation policy to our partners. So basically, it really helps you to save costs on your gas fee. Okay, second, we have another advantage, which is speed advantage. Like what I said, our mainnet can handle 4,000 TPS a second, and the settlement time is 1 second. So the mainnet can guarantee almost immediate transaction, and they can guarantee immediate transaction finality with 1 second block generation time. And we are also very developer friendly. We are going to launch a CAS, which is Klaytn API service. It is a blockchain API service that allows and considerably lowers the hurdle for blockchain service development. Typically, the developers need to utilize the smart contract programming to build blockchain applications. However, with Klaytn API services, it highly reduces these difficulties by offering various functions in a cloud computing service for developers to easily utilize. I think also there is one very important factor that distinguishes us from others. That is user experience and user acquisition. So while different blockchain wallets they have been used, they are not really getting a lot of users because users have to learn the private key and public key and those blockchain technologies. But for Clip, our digital wallet, it allows users the opportunity to experience digital assets on their smartphone while with their existing Kakao account without installing a separate apps. So it provides a user experience as easy as sending a message. And also users of Clip, they don't need to learn or remember their private keys. I think this can really help to attract some new users to the blockchain space because those private keys are really too long for ordinary people to memorize or use. And also we are going to launch Clip Partners. So Clip will provide a service called Clip Partners that allow our partners to issue NFTs for their own unique service in the future. I think these will help blockchain companies to acquire users and enhance their user experience.
Great. And speaking of building, I, of course, need to ask you a question on DeFi. Obviously, there has been a huge increased interest on DeFi projects. What is your view on DeFi, and what would you say is holding the DeFi space back?
Okay, nowadays everyone is talking about DeFi. It seems that if you put the word DeFi to your name, your project is a successful one. But I think that is too simple. I think DeFi is definitely in a growth stage, but the industry is not using the right KPI, key performance indicator, to think about DeFi itself. Presently, DeFi protocols, they are evaluated by total value locked, the TVL ratio, and offer often in USD terms. So this creates a limited view of DeFi and focuses on the scope of DeFi to borrowing and lending. As we can see, and we have seen nowadays, that total value lock does not take into consideration the cost, the high gas fee running on Ethereum for DeFi applications. So rather than thinking about the total value lock, I suggest that it is more practical and pragmatic to use other key performance indicators, such as the number of new users, the number of new asset classes, as well as the gas fee of DeFi applications. Let me give you an example. If you consider the gas fee issue, Klaytn is much better positioned to run DeFi applications than Ethereum. Klaytn is using a fixed unit price to calculate gas fee, and the price can be adjusted by our governance council. So this policy ensures that every transaction will be handled equally. That's very important, equally, and guaranteed to be executed. Also, so users don't need to struggle to determine the right unit price, which we have seen in the case of Ethereum users. They have to struggle whether it's okay or it's reasonable to pay a very high gas fee to execute the smart contracts there. So this advantage is quite significant, given that the gas fee of Ethereum has now risen to historical levels.
Mm-hmm. And another very popular topic currently is definitely staking. What is the plan for Klaytn on staking and some of the benefits that might be associated with it?
So to be clear, Klaytn or GrantX does not have any DeFi products or services. However, one of our partners, they are the hash OGs, they are actually launching Klaytn, which is a Clay staking service. And other partners, they are also very keen to develop and build DeFi applications. I heard that another member of the governance council, Neoply, they actually announced that they are going to launch a staking service for K as well. And I believe that the service will be ready very soon. And in addition to the above two governance councils, I heard that other governance council members, they are also developing DeFi-related projects on Klaytn. I think that more information about the DeFi initiatives will be made available in the future.
Yeah, and I think it's definitely interesting to see the organic development that's happening on Klaytn and the role of an enabler to facilitate growth in this industry. I do want to ask you about the recently introduced a card type hardware wallet. What coins does it support for now, and how does it differ from other wallets in the market?
Sure. The hard wallet was actually developed by our partner, Decent, and the wallet is called Klaytn Card Wallet. The Klaytn Card Wallet features a bank-grade security chip that allows and offers a high level of security for protecting your private keys. So each card wallet is printed with a QR code address, which you can use to scan with a camera on your cell phone. So the holder of the card wallet can simply present the QR code to a sender and receive digital assets directly into the card wallet without using these mobile apps. In the meantime, to my knowledge, Klaytn card wallets, they support 11 KCT Klaytn compatible tokens, as well as non-fungible tokens, NFTs. So when it comes to NFT and collectible markets, Klaytn card wallets, they will bring new added value to meet market requirements. For example, mobile game markets, they are growing nowadays given the COVID situation. And users, they may want to have or they want to manage their unique game items by themselves in a safe way. And in that sense, the Klaytn blockchain platform, as well as this kind of card wallet, will be a helpful tool for them to manage their digital assets.
Great. I think that's very, very exciting to hear. I definitely think Klaytn has been at the forefront on creating real use cases, and with leveraging the diverse cacao services, I think there is a huge synergy that can be created. So On a different note, what is the biggest challenge you face currently in terms of becoming a successful project or company?
That is a good question. Actually, if you go to talk to people, you can find that the biggest challenges the whole industry is facing is that many developers, they are going to AI rather than blockchain nowadays. Like 2 years ago, if you go to talk to developers, they are very keen. They were very keen to work on blockchain projects, but now it's not that common. So it seems that they prefer to go to AI because they think that it is going to be um, easy or more successful, or it is going to change the industry dynamics. So the big problem is that the blockchain development has been weakened a lot since the market crash in 2018. So in order to overcome this challenge, we will hold the 2020 Tetra blockchain hackathon with Samsung Electronics. Well, I think we need to make it step by step to build up the blockchain development ecosystem again. Also, it is important to prove to the market and the industry the practical use cases and value of blockchains to overcome this challenge. That's why we are developing our partnership with non-blockchain companies as well as blockchain companies to explore new use cases together.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely would like to retain talent here. And I know we briefly touched on your target customers and marketing strategies. But lastly, could you elaborate more on your plans for global expansion?
Sure. Although we originally start in Korea, we never want to be a Korean project alone. We have many global expansion plans. So to explain the blockchain ecosystem and create new use cases, we are partnering with a lot of blockchain projects in various industries. We will also leverage KakaoTalk users and connect Kakao services with our blockchain. We will work with our governance council members to solve corporate issues and provide real use case of digital transformation through blockchain implementation. We also work with startups and SMEs to provide blockchain-based innovation service, for example, like the NFT service that I just mentioned. We are also working with many blockchain technology companies as our ecosystem partners to provide various tools to support Klaytn-based blockchain services.
Thank you for sharing that. And so that brings to the all the questions I had for you, Joseph. Thank you again for participating today. This was a very good opportunity for our audience to learn more about Klaytn and the Clay token. We certainly look forward to continuing our relationship and work more closely as the project grows. So thank you to our audience for tuning in, and it was a pleasure speaking with you, Joseph.
Thank you, Jason, and thank you to everyone to join the show. We look forward to share more good news and more new development with Bittrex Global and our ecosystem partners.